Welcome back to the channel. It's your host King Diaz, and today I have a very special video for you guys. Today we're going to be talking about UFC 6, but more specifically, the UFC 6 beta. I was given the green light to talk about my experience on the beta, and I already have a few hours on the game, and there's a lot that we have to talk about, so let's get right into it. Quick disclaimer though, I won't be able to show any footage, no gameplay, no screenshots. Everything is gonna be straight on my thoughts. Hopefully that's enough, and if it's not, I apologize. There's nothing I can do about it. With that being said though, let's get right into it. All right, cool. I want to start with the UFC 5.5 allegations because that's something that I'm seeing like all over social media. Like people saw the trailer and they immediately said, oh man, it looks like UFC 5.5. If you play the beta, you can testify to this. This is not UFC 5.5. This is UFC 6, and it feels like a brand new game. Like graphically, gameplay wise, it feels like a totally different game. I say like the only thing UFC 5 and UFC 6 have in common are the lighting. And even then, I feel like UFC 6 lighting is better because it feels a little more grittier. Like the game feels a little more serious. But now let's talk about the gameplay because the game can look beautiful, but if the gameplay is not there, it doesn't even matter. And I will say, 6 has the best gameplay on the franchise. I know it's going to sound like glaze, but hear me out. I know people love to praise UFC 2 and UFC 3. They hold UFC 2 and 3 like up here. But let me tell you something those games don't have. Fighter uniqueness. And UFC 6 have fighter uniqueness. So far, everybody that I've used feels completely different. Everybody feels completely different and unique. Fighters have their own animations, idols, and stance, and they all three flow well together. And not only there's fighter uniqueness, the whole striking system feels brand new. Punches, kicks, lunges, head movement, how you move around the octagon, everything feels brand new. So the fact that people are calling this UFC 5.5 when there's so much to this game is crazy to me. It's mind-blowing actually. All right, cool. Let me show you or give you a demonstration of what I'm referring to. You know how Michael Venom Page in real life fights like this on his tippy toes and you know, snap, snap, snap. You can fight like that on UFC 6. You can fight just like that because his stance on the game is just like that, bro. I wish I could show you guys, but obviously I can't because copyright strikes, but it's crazy. And then you know how Alex is like all caked up on his stance like this, like, you know what I'm saying? Like very tall in front of you. You fight just like that on UFC 6 as well. His left hook, shama, low kick are identical to how he does them in real life. I'm not even exaggerating. I don't know how they pull this off, but it's crazy. And I know it's going to sound like glaze. But I promise you, bro, fighter uniqueness on this game puts this game to a whole new level. But here's the kicker. If you use these fighters how they're meant to be used, your flow state fills up quicker, which means you're being rewarded for using fighters properly. Example, if you use Alex Pereira and you want to grapple with Alex Pereira, your flow state is not going to fill up because Alex Pereira is not a grappler. Now, if you use Khamzat Chimaev and you wrestle with Khamzat Chimaev, your flow state is gonna, you know, fill up quicker. I don't know how they done it, but they did it, and it works pretty good. And flow state is basically a state where, you know, it's kind of like trying to emulate how fighters get in that flow state in real life and they start going crazy. And then on the game, basically, you get like a boost on your stats, like temporarily. And I know a lot of people are not going to like it. Personally, I don't really mind it, to be honest. Is it a little arcadey? Yeah, but like I said, I don't really mind it. I think it's really cool. And some of these flow states last longer and some of them don't. And the reason for that is because not every flow state is equal. Some of them are stronger, some of them are weaker. Like Alex Pereira's. Jesus Christ. His flow state is insane. That they might need to adjust that. There has been multiple fights where I have knocked people out with a single left hook, sending the fighter across the octagon. Not literally, but kind of literally. It's just insane. 2-3 year Brazil and forget. Now the fundamentals of grappling are still the same, although they added new positions like the butterfly, K-seated positions, and I feel like those little things added so much to the grappling system. This is going to sound crazy, but to me, it feels fresh. And I know a lot of people are gonna say, how can you say that? How can you? But I'm going to be honest, there's so much new things on this game, like the striking system, how you move around the octagon, fighter uniqueness, that I really don't mind the grappling system as it is right now. Would I like a more intuitive system like UFC Undisputed 3? Absolutely, something like that would be amazing. But there's so many new things on this game that if they come and say, you know what, here's everything you have right now, for the next game we'll make this better, I'm not complaining. That's just personally how I feel though. So I don't know how you guys feel about the grappling. Let me know down below in the comments. And there's also new entries on the clinch. And I forgot to mention, there's also new controls. So I'm still trying to get used to that. The new controls they're not bad. It's just like, I gotta get used to it. And that face is just a little bit annoying. But nonetheless, give me a couple hours. I'll be fine. Overall thoughts, I think UFC 6 has amazing potential. I think the game is great. The graphics are phenomenal. The bodies on the fighters are great. And I'm not being weird. I'm just saying, like, when you look at their bodies, it looks like how they do in real life. This game is banging. This game is banging so far. I know a lot of people are going to be bummed out by the grappling. But like I said, even the new positions, the cage sitting and all that stuff, it really adds up to the system and it makes it feel fresh. I'm not going to say that you should pre-order this game. I think you should wait until like you see gameplay on the game and then get a feel for it. Obviously, there's a lot of leaks out there already. But what I will say is that just fighter uniqueness alone is going to be really huge for this game. And I'm really happy and excited to not only play the game more, which I will be doing after I'm done recording this video, but to like create videos for you guys. A lot of people don't know, well, a lot of people know, but I stopped creating content for UFC 5 because it got to a point where, it wasn't it for me no more. So I completely stopped making videos on it. But for this, oh baby, I'm back. Oh baby, I'm back. But let me know how you feel down below in the comments. I covered as much as I could. I only played for like 3 hours, something like that. I'm about to get back on after I edit this video. I post everything. I'm going right back on that bitch, bro. Hey, I'm not sleeping tonight. But I genuinely would like to see how you guys feel about it. For those people who are playing the game, who have played the game or the beta, how do you guys feel about it? Let me know down below in the comments. But to call this UFC 5.5 is criminal, is mind-blowing, and is crazy. This right here is UFC 6, a brand new game. Okay? Let's stop that bullshit now. Because this right here, they cooked. They cooked. But again, like I always say, if you enjoy the content, please drop a like. It really helps out with the algorithm. It was your host, King Diaz, and thank you for watching.